talk about right now. In the previous lecture also I have told that I will discuss some of the points which are going on in the news, and I will discuss in a question format, question answer format. So questions will be given and the answer will be discussed, or some of the topics will be discussed and the questions will be given that what kind of question can be asked. So this question can be of the prelim type also, these questions can be of the mains type also, it can be any type. So we are starting with the second lecture of this series. It is the question, it is given here that the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, this particular act we are talking about here, that Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was enacted by the government to provide a citizenship to people from specific countries. Discuss the provisions and the issues surrounding the act after its inaction. So our main answer will be based on these two things. These are the provisions, what are the provisions and what are the issues. So what is the context? The Union Home Minister recently said that central government is actually committed to framing the rules for this Citizenship Amendment Act, and only reason because the rules are not formulated, it is getting delayed because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So that's the important thing here. So this is the context, and that's why we are talking about this particular Citizenship Amendment Act. So what is the explanation regarding Citizenship Amendment Act? The explanation here it is given. The objective is to grant Indian citizenship to persecuted minorities. These persecuted minorities, Hindu, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist, Parsi and Christian, to the 6 communities from 3 countries, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. So remember this, 6 communities from 3 countries will be given the Indian citizenship. So here is the map of India, and here you can see that the neighboring countries are given here, and the Pakistan and Bangladesh and Afghanistan, these 3 countries we will accepting the persecuted minorities. And it says that next provision is that those people who came to India till 31st of December 2014, and those who are able to prove that they are facing religious persecution in that respect to 3 countries, they will not be treated as an illegal migrant, but will be given the Indian citizenship. That's the main provision here. It also have some more provisions that it provides for a central government may cancel the registration of overseas citizen of India on certain grounds. So the grounds are not given, but it says that if they violate any law, their registration as an OCI, overseas citizen of India, may get cancelled. And some of the provisions, more provisions, are the citizenship by naturalization. Normally, if any person wants to get a citizenship by that naturalization, what is the procedure here? The procedure is that the person should have been in India continuously for last 12 months, plus before that 12 months, before the 14 years before that 12 months, he must be in India for at least 11 years. So that's the thing. So now the amendment realized the second condition, that he should be there for at least 11 years out of this 14 years before the last 12 months. So that 11 years has reduced to the 5 years now, for this particularly 6 people belonging from these 3 countries and belonging to these 6 communities. So the exceptions here, the 6 schedule areas, which are the 6 schedule areas, Tripura, Mizoram, Assam and Meghalaya are the 6 schedule areas. They are the exception, and more exceptions are the states which are falling under, or the areas which are falling under the inner line permit. An inner line permit is declared under Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation 1873. So these inner line areas actually the restricted areas. So those areas which fall under the inner line, so they will be exempted. So what are the particular issues? Provisions we have seen. So what are the issues which are surrounding this particular law? So the issues are, it makes illegal migrants eligible for citizenship basis on the relation. So definitely it goes against rise to equality. So that's the first thing. Second thing, that when they will be given citizenship, it can become a demographic threat to indigenous communities, because they are illegal migrants. Now they are getting citizenship, so their population may rise, and it becomes dangerous for the demographic threat to indigenous communities. Next, it attempts to naturalize the citizenship of illegal migrants. Definitely these are illegal migrants, and now you are giving the citizenship, so that itself goes wrong. And it does not explain why this particular date of 31st December 2014 is chosen. Why this date? What is the criteria why we choose this 31st December 2014? It is not explained. And it also allows the cancellation of this OCR registration for violation of any law. So violation of any law is actually a problematic thing. Why it is particularly a problematic thing? Because the law, which law under it is not defined. Why, in which law under which the Overseas Citizen of India registration can be cancelled. So for including the minor offences, they may lose their registration. That is the problematic area. So we have seen the provision and the issues. Next question is, the new WhatsApp privacy policy is a challenge to data protection in India. So we have to see what is the new WhatsApp privacy policy and why it is called as the challenge to data protection in India. So the context here given here is, the Competition Commission of India recently defended before the Delhi High Court its decision calling an investigation into the new privacy policy. The Competition Commission of new privacy policy of WhatsApp. So Competition Commission of India is actually defending its decisions to have an investigation for new privacy policy. So it is fighting against this new privacy policy. So it is trying to find out whether there is an abuse of dominant position by the WhatsApp when they issued this privacy policy. That's their intention. So explanation here, it is given that the provisions are given regarding this WhatsApp privacy policy. The provisions are here that user has to consent to share this transaction data, mobile device information, IP address, and to whom they interact with the business, their interaction with the business, everything they have to given the consent. It's compulsory to do that. Next, that it allows WhatsApp and Facebook to share their data to third-party service providers also, and to with the businesses also. That's the problem area. So they are sharing your data. Next, they can share even the login details and the locational details also. Again, a problematic area. But only thing is that they will not share the messages because they are end-to-end encrypted. So your messages will not be shared. So what are the challenges to this data protection? So the challenges are given that it goes against the Sri Krishna Committee report. Particularly, the committee has given the report in 2018, and it actually became the basis for this data protection bill which the government has presented in 2019. It has not passed it. It is still a bill, but it is based on the Sri Krishna Committee report. So Sri Krishna Committee has given some of the good recommendations here, like a data protection authority, that right to forgotten and data localization, all these, and how to proceed the data, and which punishment should be given if the provisions are violated. All this information is there in the Sri Krishna Committee report. So it goes against the recommendation of Sri Krishna Committee report. Next, it goes against the principle of the data localization. Principle of data localization says that the data of all the Indian citizens should be saved in India only, the geographical boundary of India only. But here with the WhatsApp privacy policy, it is saying that the data will be shared with the other platforms also, other businesses also. That means the data will go out of India. So it is going against the principle of the data localization. Next, WhatsApp is now sharing the metadata. Metadata means all the data except your chat, except your messages, whatever the data will be, it will be called as an metadata, and it is sharing all the data other than your chats, and you have to consent it, and you don't want to consent it, you have to quit the WhatsApp. So that's how it is considered as using its dominant position or abusing its dominant position. Some of the extra information it is given for your knowledge, that European Union has this general data protection regulation. So it is one of the strictest policy that in the world. So that means these people who belong to these countries who are the part of this European Union, they are actually will not get affected so much because of this privacy policy of WhatsApp, because they have this general data protection regulation, and the WhatsApp has to follow these regulations. Next information here, it is given in the Competition Commission of India. This important information, because in the context I have seen, Competition Commission of India is actually defending its decision to investigate the WhatsApp privacy policy. So here, what is Competition Commission of India? It is actually a statutory body, and which is constituted in 2009, and its responsibility is to enforce the Competition Commission Act 2002. So it is a quasi-judicial body. Quasi-judicial body means it's actually not a part of the judiciary, but it has got some judicial power. So that's why it is called the quasi-judicial body. So its main function is to eliminate the practice of adverse effects on the competition, then promote the competition, protect the interest of the consumer, and ensure freedom of trade and the market, and to ensure that no enterprise is actually abusing its dominant position. With this particular last point, the Competition Commission of India is trying to take action against the WhatsApp. Next question is regarding the Annamaya initiative, and it is asking, it has given the 4 options that what is this Annamaya Institute. The option is B here, that it is initiated to enhance the health and nutrition status of the tribal communities. All the different options like that of it is a strategy to deal with Naxalism, or it is regarding providing educational opportunities for a northeast student, or regarding any tribal education. All these things are wrong. This is regarding enhance the health and nutrition status of the tribal communities. That's what the option is given. The explanation is given here regarding this Annamaya initiative. So it is a new approach, new collaborative approach initiative started by this Tribal Affairs Ministry, and particularly two big foundations are there with the Tribal Affairs Ministry to implement this. That is the Piramal Foundation. Second is Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. These two foundations are working together with the Tribal Ministry to implement this Annamaya initiative. Next, the main thing is it addressed to key health challenges faced by the tribal population in India. That's a very important thing. Next thing is that it is a converge efforts of the government agencies and organization to enhance the health and nutritional status. So again, it is talking about health challenges and health and nutritional status of the tribal communities. So the main thing you have to remember that Annamaya initiative is regarding making the health opportunities available for the tribal communities, like health infrastructure will be made and their health and nutrition status will be improved. So it is bringing together government, philanthropies, national and international foundations, NGOs, and the main thing is through better health and nutritional status, they will prevent the deaths among the tribals. So that's the important thing, that they are going to prevent the deaths among the tribals. So that's the important thing here regarding the Annamaya initiative. तो अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा, आपको ये इनिशिएटिव अच्छा लगा, तो प्लीज़ इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. Please subscribe the channel and like the video, share the video and comment the video. Your suggestions are welcome. Thank you so much.